Okay, so did you meditate yesterday at 7:30? I know some of you did because I heard from you. And I felt you. And of course, if you didn't, it's okay. I'm not trying to like shame you or make you feel bad. Is that this practice is both immediate and it's cumulative. So it says I'm having some unstable connection, but I'm just going to keep talking. Good morning. Good morning. Opposites. Oh, good, Donna. So, yeah, it's immediate, when you come to it, when you come to your breath, or when you come to the cushion, when you notice yourself, that sometimes just relief, or sometimes the space for everything that is greater. And it's immediate. It's like, oh, it's right here. And remember that the effects of this are cumulative. So the more you do it, the easier it will be to find, the more fortified you will feel throughout the day. So that's my sales pitch. We know that meditation can increase immunity, focus, concentration, good decision making, because we're in our right mind, the rational, the prefrontal cortex part of the brain, instead of the reactive or in a stress response. So that's my encouragement, to just stay with it. And even if it's not X number of minutes, it's that checking in, it's doing it consistently, regularly, really staying with it. And I felt you yesterday at 7:30. I felt you. We were, together, energetically holding that space together. So, okay, that's the pitch. This morning is everything all at once, because this is sort of where I have been. Everything, it's all happening in here. And I've been thinking about this poem a lot. I'm sure some of you have been thinking about it a lot, maybe reading it. And the guest house. And this is sort of, there's this extended version. The end of this doesn't often find its way into readings, but I'm going to read the whole thing. And then that will lead us right into the meditation, where the invitation is this openness to whatever arises, all of the things. And that's what we'll practice. So let yourself get comfortable, like move around, fidget around if you need to. And then tuning into breath. Maybe there's a little bit of a sigh. Maybe you're changing your position altogether, lying down. And taking a moment to settle into your seat, into where you've landed. Letting your body weight soften into this imprint. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere you need to be. There's just right here, just this sitting, just this moment. And you can rest back into that. Let your body be supported. And just let the words of the poem, even if you've heard it and read it 100 times, let the words of the poem sort of float through you, as though you're really porous and translucent. Let the words of the poem just sort of float around. The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Welcome difficulty. Learn the alchemy true human beings know. The moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door opens. Welcome difficulty as a familiar comrade. Joke with torment brought by the friend. Sorrows are the rags and jackets that serve to cover and then are taken off. That undressing and the beautiful naked body underneath is the sweetness that comes after grief. Letting any feelings, sensations, any kind of body experience that came up through that reading into your house. Opening the door and welcoming it all into your experience. Knowing that when we are not trying to push anything away, and when we are not trying to cling to keep any other part that we think we like, then everything can be in flow, like the clouds in the sky, like the water of a river. Like your breath right now. The teaching of this poem is the antidote to suffering. Even though it seems like, what if I let all of these hard things in, then I'll suffer. And it's true that some of those things might be hard, but the suffering comes when we are in resistance, when we are bracing, when we are wishing things to be other than they actually are, which is like boxing with your shadow. It's completely fruitless, ridiculous, and yet we do it all the time. Of course we do. And we move out of suffering when we welcome, when we open the door, when we say, this is how it is, and I am here, I am present, I am letting the breath and letting the experience move through me, clearing me out for some new delight. You are just a guest house. Visitors come and go. Nothing is permanent. Absolutely nothing is permanent. The mind wanders around. It just does. And it's not a problem. Over and over, we come back. All right, I'm this guest house. You could practice one of the objects of attention, or you could even have your eyes open and just see the space around you. Oh, right, I'm here. I'm just in this room, nowhere else. Training our brains to be right here. What would it be like in these last moments, minutes, for you to not resist anything about right now? What would that feel like in your body, in your breath? What would it feel like in your heart? To be completely open, maybe even welcoming to the entirety of this moment. Learn the alchemy true human beings know. The moment you accept what troubles you've been given, the door opens. Welcome difficulty as a familiar comrade. Joke with torment brought by the friend. Sorrows are the rags and jackets that serve to cover and then are taken off. That undressing and the beautiful naked body underneath is the sweetness that comes after grief. Feeling such gratitude for this practice and for the way it connects us to ourselves, connects us to each other. So important to feel our connections right now. Thank you so much for being here and watching and being. Love to hear from you. Feel free to leave a comment and feel free to share this with friends. Had great feedback about how supportive this has been for people to have a practice, especially if meditation is new, especially if anxiety is high and they're feeling really dysregulated. So feel free to share. And I always love to hear from you. So take care, and I'll be with you tomorrow in IRL. Is that what they say in real life? And then not on the screen, just together energetically. And then I'll be with you Friday. I'll see you Friday. Okay. Bye, friends.